longest recorded and confirmed lifespan is of Jean-Louis Calment of France, who lived for 122 years and 164 days from 1875 to 1997. Human life expectancy is on the rise in recent years. Data shows that someone born today can expect to live longer than someone born 100 years ago or 1000 years ago. This appears to be a logical outcome since the standard of living has improved in most parts of the world, especially with better healthcare and nutrition access. But we often hear about people who lived hundreds of years ago attaining ages like 90 or 100. This creates an obvious question. With all the advancements, are we really living longer than our ancestors? Well, stay tuned to find out. Hey everyone, this is TyroScience, simplified science to make you smarter. First, we need to address a common misconception. People often confuse life expectancy and lifespan. These are quite different. Lifespan is the period between life and the death of a person. Life expectancy, on the other hand, is a statistical construct which measures the average time a person is expected to live. If a family has 2 children, one lives to be 70 years old and the other dies before turning 1, their average life expectancy will be 35. This gives us a mathematical depiction and gives out a lot of information like higher child mortality rate, but this is not a complete picture, which becomes problematic when we are looking at the data for more extended periods. Data suggests the average life expectancy in ancient cultures to be in the 30s. That should mean that someone living in their late 30s or 40s must be considered old. But if we study the ancient texts from the different countries, we see contrary evidence. In the ancient Indian ashram system, the human lifespan was divided into 4 parts. The first part of the life, lasting till 25 years, was for education. The second part was for household life, which was 25 years more. The third part, for retired life, added 25 more years. And the last part of renounced life, adding even more years, pointing that higher ages were not uncommon. Similarly, a 7th century BC text by Greek poet Hesiod says that a man should marry when you are not much less than 30 and not much more. If we look at Roman history, they didn't allow a person to even stand for office before 30, and a consul had a minimum age criteria of 42 years. Roman author Pliny even created a list of the people who lived the longest, which included a woman named Claude who lived 115 years. So we can say with reasonable certainty that at least some people live comparative to the present ages. But actually, how many people made it this far? Accurate determination of this has its challenges, like lack of data, insufficient reliable sources, and bias. A 1994 study looked into every person entered into Oxford Classical Dictionary who lived in ancient Rome or Greece. There were 397 in total, out of which 99 died violently, murders, wars, etc. And among the remaining 298, those who lived before 100 BC had a median age of 72, and those after 100 BC had a median age of 66, possibly due to lead pipe plumbing. Though there were some issues with this sample. First, it only had male subjects. Second, it mainly consisted of privileged people who had better access to resources and lived longer. There was an enormous difference between the life of an elite Roman and a poor one. Underprivileged section didn't have access to medical therapies, nutrition, and proper hygiene. A 2016 study on over 2,000 ancient Roman skeletons of working class people showed that the average age among these to be 30. Most had trauma from hard labor and signs of disease like arthritis. Deeper research on Roman society shows that 1/3 of infants died before reaching the age of 1, half before the age of 10. Once someone attains this age, chances of survival are significantly better. If the age of 60 is achieved, then the person will likely live to be 70. So in Roman society, even though the lifespan was not that different from today, life expectancy was low due to significant infant mortality and other factors. In the later parts of human history, we have access to more data as record keeping becomes better. From 1200 to 1745, the documents show that the infant mortality rate remains high. But those who reach the age of 21 and didn't die of unnatural causes like wars, accidents, etc. can expect to go between 62 and 70, except for the 14th century when the life expectancy plummeted due to plague. What about prehistoric people? a time before any records. To get an idea about those societies, scientists studied today's hunter-gatherer groups who have no access to modern food and medicines. The mean life expectancy was between 30 to 37 due to high infant mortality rate. But they found that women who could survive till 45 can live till 65 to 67. Analyzing various parts of human history shows that life expectancy is considerably improved due to better nutrition, medical facilities, and a decline in infant mortality rate. More people can expect to attain the ages of 70, 80 or 90 than earlier times. But despite all that, there is no considerable increase in human lifespan. Yes, medical facilities at later stages have slightly extended it. Still, overall, it's not that different after all. Do hit the subscribe button if you like this video. Let me know what topics do you want to see next. And as always, keep learning, keep exploring until you know everything.